On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence 2025.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Governor Mike Braun, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, and others joined officials from Elanco Animal Health today to cut the ribbon on the company's more than $200 million headquarters in downtown Indy. CEO Jeff Simmons says the facility comes at a momentous time for Elanco.
When you look at pets and protein, most every home's got a pet now, and pets have never mattered more to families around the world. And protein, animal protein is booming. We've never consumed more as a society than we are today. So with that relevance comes responsibility, and this building opens up that future.
We'll have more on the opening on this weekend's edition of Inside Indiana Business Television. Fort Wayne-based online music retailer Sweetwater is looking for seasonal workers at its distribution center in Fort Wayne. The company said it is now accepting applications with plans to hire more than 100 people to support increased holiday demand. Wood-Mizer, a sawmilling and woodworking equipment manufacturer headquartered in Indianapolis, has selected Ben Bridges as its new CEO, the company announced this week. Bridges most recently served as Executive Vice President of North America for Dormakaba Americas in Indy. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Blown up more than 20 times their original size, the comics splashed across the new Cartoon Alley in Nappanee do not just entertain. They celebrate the city's golden age of cartooning. The murals immortalize the work of four hometown artists, Bill Holman, Fred Nieher, Merrill Blosser, and Max Gwynn, whose strips once reached readers nationwide from the 1920s through the 1970s. Mark Collins with the Nappanee Redevelopment Commission says the project is the first step in the execution of the city's new downtown master plan.
We came out with this idea of redoing our alleyways since a lot of them are underutilized, and hearing from some of the businesses who are wanting to stay open later. They're wanting little safe areas too for their employees to go through. So we thought, what better way of kicking off our downtown master plan than activating our first alleyway, which is next to our ice cream store and our toy store that we have downtown, and kind of made it a fun feel using our heritage of our local 6 cartoonists that we have, and using 4 of those guys that were nationally syndicated.
As Nappanee prepares for a ribbon cutting on October 7th, city leaders already see Cartoon Alley as both a tribute to the past and a step toward revitalizing downtown for years to come. With community interest in the alley already high, the city is exploring how to use the space for downtown events. Indianapolis-based agricultural giant Corteva Agriscience announced this morning it plans to split its seed and pesticide businesses into 2 independent publicly traded companies. The company said its board of directors unanimously approved a plan to separate the current crop protection business into New Corteva and the other operations comprising its current seed business into SpinCo. Corteva Chair Greg Page will become chair of New Corteva, and CEO Chuck Magro will become the CEO of SpinCo. The company said more board and management details and other key information are to be announced in the future. The separation is expected to be completed in the second half of 2026. California-based Plug and Play joined leaders from Indiana University on Tuesday to launch the IU Lab Life Tech Accelerator near downtown Indianapolis. CEO Saeed Amidi says the accelerator is designed to support up to 40 life sciences startups annually with access to mentors, workshops, pitch sessions, and introductions to corporate partners.
We feel very excited about this opportunity, and we feel we could build the bridge between Indianapolis and Silicon Valley. Our business model is collaborating with the unbelievable entrepreneurs with great technology, great idea, but for scalability to scale their idea, they need funding and they need connections.
The accelerator will be based at the future IU Lab building at the 16 Tech Innovation District. Purdue head football coach Matt Painter is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Get a behind-the-scenes look at Indiana's most influential leaders. On Business and Beyond, we go beyond titles and resumes to explore the personal stories, pivotal moments, and hard-won lessons that shape Hoosier leadership. Hear from the people driving Indiana forward in their own words. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcast or at ibjpodcasts.com.
Your commute just got smarter. Turn drive time into growth time. The IBJ Media Podcast Network gives you front row access to leaders shaping Indiana's economy, culture, and future. No filler, just smart, relevant, local storytelling you won't get anywhere else. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.